Did you know that you can go all the way from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore by train? And in fact, this is the third and final leg of my train journey that's already taken me from Bangkok down to Hat Yai in the south of Thailand, and then from Hat Yai to Kuala Lumpur. And I'm back here at KL Sentral railway station, and I'm going to get two trains that are going to take me to the border of Singapore, and then I'm going to find a way to actually cross the border, either by a train or by a bus. Let's find out. So there's actually two trains a day that can take you from KL Sentral down to Gemas, with the chance of then swapping trains there and going to JB Sentral. One of them leaves at 9:30 p.m. approximately, and will get you to Gemas by midnight, but then you've got a 2-hour wait to start your journey at 2 a.m. from there. So I prefer the one that actually leaves at 12:15. That should get me there in the afternoon in time for a 30-minute layover and swap trains, and then I'll be arriving at JB Sentral. The great thing about taking the train is not only do you get to see a lot more of the journey, but also it's not expensive. So the first leg of this journey is just 30 ringgit. The second train is 21 ringgit, so 30 plus 21, 51 ringgit for the complete journey to the border with Singapore. And by my calculation, 51 ringgit is about like $12 US. So all of these journeys that I booked in Malaysia, I booked on the app. You just put in your origin and destination, the number of people and the date you want to travel, and they will show you the trains available and then the seats available on that train. Select the seat or seats that you want, and then you can pay with a Visa card, and then you'll get a QR code, which is what you need to get on the train. KL Sentral is a big modern station with all of the facilities you'd expect. There's a small shopping centre downstairs with a choice of shops, including a 7-Eleven. So about 15 minutes before the due departure time, they shout out the name of the train, the number.
Mayday station at 12:15 p.m. Please scan your ticket.
And I learned something as well, because he says this train goes to Gemas. So G must be a gut sound in this word. I've been saying Gemas. Apologies to all Malaysian people for butchering their language, but I do it with the Thai language as well, so it's nothing personal.
Tolong minta kerjasama buat satu line, one line please. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
So the train is just pulling into Gemas, as I now pronounce it. And I think we started a few minutes late, but we seem to have made up that time. Time is now 2:38, and then at 3:20 I'm due to get on the next train, which is to JB Sentral. So short stop here, change trains and onward to JB Sentral. So it's a very nice way to travel. And luckily the weather held off, because there's been some big storms around the area, but at the moment it's warm and sunny. Of course, the next job is to find out how to get to JB Sentral. There is a train waiting on the adjacent platform. Now in a perfect world that would be it, but I don't suppose this world is perfect. for train to JB Sentral?
This one.
It's that one there, is it? Thank you so much. I can tell you one thing about this second train, and that is it's freezing cold. There's my seat. Broken window. Far more basic, but I'm sure it will do the job just fine. YouTuber, yeah. Nice to meet you. There was a cafe on board. Very cute, very friendly staff. Good selection of snacks actually, but I was full after having a meal on the last train. Yeah, well, okay, I couldn't resist the banana cake, which was quite delicious. There was clean Western style toilets on board. You could notice changing views as you got towards Johor Bahru. So at this point I wasn't quite decided how I was going to actually cross the border into Singapore, because when I booked the first 2 legs of this journey and then tried to book the third leg into Woodlands CIQ, then there weren't any seats available. But I got chatting to an English guy who was sitting in front of me on the train. He said he'd managed to book last minute because there were cancellations. I tried on the train and there were 3 seats left, so I booked one of those, and I'm going to be on the 8:15 departure from JB Sentral to Woodlands CIQ. The only slight concern is the train was running about 10 or 15 minutes late, and given that you've only got 30 minutes at JB Sentral to find the correct platform for the next train and also go through Malaysian immigration, time was looking a bit tight. So I finally arrived in Singapore, and the last leg of the journey, it was really quite straightforward, at least for 99.9% of the passengers. You get off at JB Sentral, it's well signposted down to get to Woodlands CIQ. And when you get down there, you can't film, but you go through immigration to leave Malaysia. I say for 99.9% of the passengers, you just scan your passport, have your bag checked, and then down the escalator onto the train. But for one of the passengers, they got stopped by immigration because their passport wouldn't scan. 10-minute interview to persuade immigration to let me through. No idea what the problem was. Fortunately, they held the train for me. The guys checking the bags had actually gone home, and they put the red tape across to say no more people boarding this train. The next one's at 9:30, but they still let me on, so that was a stroke of luck. As was another stroke of luck when 5 minutes later I'm across the bridge and I'm in Singapore, because there are stories that you can wait there in a line for about 30 minutes to get through Singaporean immigration, but for me it was literally just walk straight through and then a choice of taxi or bus or grab taxi to get to downtown Singapore. I've enjoyed a lot of success using Grab Taxi because I've used it in Hat Yai in Thailand, I've used it in KL in Malaysia, and I also used it when I arrived in Singapore. All the time it's been attached to my Thai bank account, so I haven't had to worry about whether I've got any local currency to use when getting a taxi to my hotel. So that's worked really well. And something else that's worked really well is, despite the fact that there's been heavy rains in some countries in Southeast Asia, Singapore today is blazingly hot, and we're just coming up to Grand Prix weekend for the Formula 1 race, which is on Sunday night. So lots of people about, lots of excitement, and I'm going to explore today. But I'll be back to Bangkok at the weekend as well, so another video coming very soon. If you've enjoyed this one, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications. That does help a lot. And I'll see you again for a new video very, very soon. But for me, here in Singapore, bye for now. See you next time. Bye bye.